Hello guys, my name is Evans and welcome to this video. In this video, we'll continue looking at the February-March 2018 IGCSE ICT paper 2. In the last couple of videos, we've been doing document production, and now we start to look at data manipulation. So task 3 is database. You are now going to prepare some reports using related tables in a database. Make sure all currency values display the same currency symbol and are set to 2 decimal places. Step number 18. Import the file 1803staff.csv using a suitable database package and use these field names and data types given in this table. Okay, so the file in question, we need to import it. Okay, so we go to our source files, and first of all, let's open a suitable software database package. In this case, we will use Access. And we'll create a database. We'll call it tutorial February, let's say March 2018, P2 maybe. Okay, right, so then we're going to import the file in question. Go to external data. Make sure that you select text file, and sometimes students get stuck here, and you will see that they want to use this one here, which is called text file. Actually, before you have, if you have a table like this one, and you go to external data, you will see that this text file is clickable here. And if you hover your mouse there, it says export to text file, and export selected object to a text file. So this is not importing, guys. This is exporting. You can even tell the arrow is coming from an Excel sheet going into a text file, okay, for the icon here used. So this is very important, guys. But if you notice this one, the icon is coming from a text file into an Excel sheet. So this is important. And if you don't want to make these mistakes, for example, you're so overwhelmed with the pressure of the exam, what you just have to do is to close this table. When you close this table, notice that this is disabled. You cannot click on it. And what you remain with is this one here, which is importing data from a link or from a CSV file. Okay. So click on it and browse to the location where your files are saved. Mine are in work files V2. So you stuff you're looking for and click OK. And now this is where you go through the normal procedure for importing a text file into your Access database. Okay, so first of all, contains field names, and you go to next, and here you're going to set your data types. So your data types are depend on this one, the data dictionary that you've been given. So you have from staff ID all the way to department code, everything is text. Years of service is numeric, and telephone is text. Okay, so we're also told that this is a unique identification for each employee, so that tells you that this is a primary key. We are told here to set actually staff ID as primary key. So the only thing that we're going to change is numeric here. Okay, so let's see what we have in our table. So staff ID is text. So you're checking it from here, text. Then this one's supposed to be this is years of service. So long integer, we'll just put it as integer. And somebody would say, but is it wrong to leave it as long integer? It's not wrong to leave it as long integer because, I mean, it's integer anyway. But the difference between long integer and short integer is the number of bytes that are reserved for memory. Okay, long integer uses a lot of bytes. So in the long run, you'll find that your database looks a little bit larger than it would normally look in terms of file size compared to when you use short integer and stuff like that. Okay, so in this case, we're just doing a simple database, so there's no need to worry. But in the event that we're making large databases, as a programmer, it would be good for you to use as little spaces or field sizes as possible, so that you save on space. Okay, so I'll use it as integer, and telephone is supposed to be short text. Okay, so actually here we're supposed to change also this to text. Okay, so that is done. Next, and then don't let Access add your own primary. Access add primary key. You should add your own primary key and select from the available fields whichever you've been told to be primary key. In our case, staff ID is primary. So just leave it as that and go to next and finish. Okay, so your table should be imported without errors. If you do see that the table has been imported, the imported table, and you see something underneath here giving you some errors that have been imported, probably coming from usually it's as a result of a field name not matching the data type or the data contained, not field name, but the data type in a particular field not matching the data that is in that field. Okay, so for example, a field expects you to have integers and then you have text, and so you will see that is going to be an error, and you just have to delete the table and go and re-import it, and make sure that when you're importing the table, you have the correct field and the data types in those fields match the data that is going to be found in that particular column. Okay, so we go back to the question. Step 19, import file 1803jobs.csv as a new table with all fields set as appropriate data types into your database, and set job code field as a primary key. Okay, so let's go ahead and import the jobs file, this one, and there, go to next. Field name, first row contains field names. You look at the data that you have here. So look at this one. This is text, and this is numeric. So we need to and we are told that it's base pay, so we know that this has to do with money. So the appropriate data type would actually be currency. So this is text. Rather, this should be currency. Okay. And go to next, and then job code is supposed to be the primary key. Then next and finish. So you shouldn't see errors again here. You should just see one file imported. Next, import the file 1803 departments.csv as a new table with all fields set as appropriate data types into your database. Set the department code field as primary key. Okay, so go to text file and browse and import departments and go to there. Next, first row contains field names, and it's just by looking you can tell all the fields are actually text. Okay, so we leave them as text, and then department code is the primary key, and finish. Again, you shouldn't see any import errors. Okay. Right, so place in your evidence document screenshots showing the field names and data types used in the three tables. Okay, so the three field names and data types. So this is what we're looking for. So we start with staff. We go to design view, and this is the field name and data type. So this is just what we are showing. So I'll pick up my snipping tool, and I'll select the mode as rectangular snip, and then we'll snip from here all the way there. Okay, so that should be fine. Copy it, and let's look for our evidence document. I hope I saved it from the last work we're doing. Okay, should have saved it. So hopefully this is evidence number 3. If not, then I didn't save it. Okay, so let's see from an auto saved file. Yeah, so this is the one that should have been saved. So evidence number 5 for step number 20, I think. Yeah, step number 20, evidence number 5. So this is from one table. We need to paste again for another table, which is the jobs table and the departments table. So close up this one. Open the jobs in design view. Again, we use the snipping tool. We need a new window. Then capture this one, copy it, and go to the evidence document and paste it right below there. That's fine. Again, go to this one, close up this one, and open this one, design view. Again, we use the snipping tool, a new one, and capture this one and copy it, and go ahead and paste it in your evidence document. Okay, so that should be fine. Right. In step 21, create a one-to-many relationships as links between the jobs code field in the jobs table and jobs raw code field in the staff table. Okay, so first of all, we are going to import, show the three tables. So let's just close these tables and then go to database tools, relationships, select all three tables by highlighting them and click on add. And now just enlarge this one. So staff table and jobs. So we job code is related to job code, job raw code, and enforce referential integrity. Now, at IGCSE level, this is not a must that you must enforce referential integrity. Your relationship is actually not shown because you've done the enforcing the referential integrity. Your relationship type is shown below here, and this is one that shows that it's a one-to-many relationship. Okay, so actually Access does pick up the type of relationship that you are creating based on the table and the data that is found in that table, and so it will show here whether it's a one-to-one relationship or a one-to-many relationship. Okay. What referential integrity does is that it makes sure that for every record that exists in one table, there's a corresponding data in the other table. Okay, so you have sort of this check and balance. You cannot connect, for example, if a field does not exist in another field of the same data type. So the other thing also you need to know is that, for example, if you try to enforce referential integrity on a, let's say, on a job description like this and job code, and you try to enforce referential integrity, if you try to create the relationship, notice it says no unique index found for the referenced field or primary table. And sometimes the data within the table does not allow you to enforce referential integrity. So in our case, job code will try to enforce referential integrity. Now notice, guys, if it does not allow you to enforce referential integrity, then don't enforce referential integrity. Leave it as it is, but just create the relationship without enforcing the referential integrity. Just say create, and it will create the relationship. Okay. Usually students in the past have been stuck and they have not been able to create a relationship because they could not enforce this feature, referential integrity, and they thought you must enforce. Okay, so at IGCSE, this is not a must, but it is good practice to enforce it if it is available. So when you do that, you will see the symbol 1 to infinite sign here. It will showing you that the relationship and the integrity, referential integrity, has been enforced successfully. Okay, so then we'll pick up another relationship, department code with department code field in the staff table. Okay. So this one and this one here. And again, we'll try to enforce referential integrity. And so this is, oops, I picked up a wrong field. It's supposed to be department code, this one. Okay, good. And create. Okay, so that should be fine. So your relationships have been enforced, created. And so what we just need to do now is to provide evidence. Place in your evidence document screenshots, okay? Screenshots showing the relationship between three tables. So it's up to you actually what you decide to show as your evidence. You can show, double click here on the relationship line here, and you have, double click here, you have the relationship shown here. So what you need to do is to get a screenshot, new, and get a screenshot of this. Okay, so this is the relationship between staff and department, and what you're showing, actually this edit relationship window is very important, so don't leave it out. Don't just show this line and the staff here. Don't just show this. Okay, this is not only the important thing. Okay, so you need to show also the edit window, this one here. Okay, so copy it and paste it in your evidence document, just right below here, evidence 6, paste it there. This is not the only one. You need to show also the other one between the staff and the jobs table. Okay, so this one say cancel, and double click on this line Okay, and pick up this relationship as well. So new, and we'll pick up now this one. Okay, copy it and paste it right below the other one. Okay, so that should be fine, guys. The next thing that you're supposed to do is to go to step number 22. Create a data entry form using all fields in the staff table. Okay, so step 22. So we are going to close up this, save the relationship. Yes, and now we're going to create a form. So create. You can use a form wizard if you want, and you're picking up all fields from the staff table. So select them and go to next, and then leave it at columnar and go to next. And then the entry form, if you want, you can give it a name. So you can say staff data entry form. Okay, just to have a practice. Unless you are given a title, you can come up with your own. Okay. Then go to finish, and then you have your form here. So what you need to do now is to go to the next. So we're done with this one. Go to the next, step 23. Add the following record to the staff table using your form. So the record is TU, staff ID is TU221, and it's Kapo. There you go again with Kapo. Kapo, Shashi, PGCH1 and 5618. So let's start with the staff ID and Kapo and Shashi. So go to new record at the bottom here, and then go to TU, was that TU221? Yeah, TU221. And then the name for this guy is Kapo. I don't know if it's a guy's name. And then Shashi. Okay. And the job role code is supposed to be PG, and department code is supposed to be CH. And year service is 1 year. Then CH, year service 1 year, and 5618 I think should have been the telephone. 5618. Okay, so that should be fine. Next, check your data for data entry for errors, and place in your evidence document a screenshot showing this in your form. So this is done. So you check this for errors. Notice that there are no errors, then you can go ahead and take a screenshot of this. So from here to there, and copy it and go ahead and paste it in your evidence document. So this shows that you have entered your data in your entry form. So step 23, evidence 7, and paste it right there. Okay. So don't worry about putting this. You can do this, arranging the screenshots in your evidence document properly. You can do that end of the exam. Okay, it's not a must that you must do it here, otherwise you lose out on time. So focus on doing the work, and if you finish in time and there is time to do that, then go ahead and arrange this. If there's no time, just print it as it is. The examiner will be able to follow the order of the screenshots, and they will know what you're doing. So right, that's done with that. Okay, so I'm just going to save the form, save it, and then I'm going to close up the form and go to this one. Okay, so the next step is a pay increase is made for each year of service. You will calculate the current salary for each member of staff based on their years of service. Okay, so this is interesting. So a pay increase is made for each year of service. So in other words, if you work this year, you had a certain salary. Next year, you're going to have a certain salary, and the other year, you're going to have an increment. The other year, an increment, just like that. Okay. For each year of service, you have an increment. Okay. You will calculate the current salary of each member of staff based on their years of service. Okay. So you need to calculate. So for 2019, for example, we'll need to recalculate the current salary for 2019 based on the number of years that the person has served. Okay. So using the fields from all tables, produce a report which, okay, contains a new field called current salary. Okay, so the new field is called current salary, and this field is going to be calculated using base pay. It is the best pay for their job plus an increment of 400 for each year of service. Okay, so for example, in 2019, if I'm earning $1,000, rather in 2018, if I'm earning $1,000, in 2019 I will earn $1,400. Okay, in 2020 I'm going to earn $1,800. In 2021 I'll earn $2,200. And notice that each new year, it's actually we are multiplying the number of years from the base year or the base salary. We multiply the number of years by the increment factor. Okay, so the increment factor here is 400. So in 2020, from 2018 to 2020, it's 2 years. So which means you multiply 400 by 2 to give you 800 and add that to the base pay, and that becomes the current salary. I hope, guys, that is very clear. Okay, so then it should display this content as current fields, and then shows the records where the faculty is engineering, but excludes staff with a job description of postgraduate research. And it shows only the fields staff ID, staff name, job code, and everything. Make sure they are in this order, and make sure that all labels and data are fully visible. And sorts all the data in ascending order, has page orientation, landscape, and fits a single page wide, and calculates the average years of service for this faculty and places it at the bottom of the report below the years of service column formatted as an integer. Okay, and has a label average time with a faculty to the left of this number, and includes the heading Tawara University Engineering at the top of the page, and has your name, center number, and candidate number on each page of the report, and save and printer. Okay, so as usual, we break this into two parts. There are sections that you can do with the report query, and then there are also sections that you can do right in the report. Okay, so usually the first 4 parts you can do them in the query. Anything that has to do with selection, retrieving, and in the like, this can be done in the query. Okay, when you're selecting data, it's where you have a criteria. And when you have retrieving certain fields, then that should be a query. But when you're manipulating data, then that should be in the report. Okay, so anything to do with manipulation, like sorting the data, changing the orientation, so having the average, adding the titles and stuff like that, all this can be done in the report itself. Okay, so I hope, guys, this is very clear on how you can break up this question and really gain your full marks here. This is 11 marks, guys, and you cannot afford to lose marks just because you didn't know what to do at that time. Okay, so let's go ahead and do just that. So for the query, I like to start with the part that says shows the field in a particular order. Okay, that's the part I like to start, and then once you show the fields, then go to the criteria. Or if you don't want to go to the criteria, then go to the new field, which is going to be calculated at runtime, and then go to the criteria. And then from the criteria, you can format the new field as currency. Then that is done in the query. Then you can go ahead and do the report. Okay, so let's go ahead and do the showing of the field. So if it's possible, I would like to do this just to minimize so that I can have 2 windows, or maybe it's fine. I can simply just alternate between windows. So let's go and do just that. So create, and we are creating query design, and we'll select all the tables. Actually, query design is even better because you'll see the 3 tables like this. Okay, and from here you can select the fields just by double clicking on them in the particular order that you are given. So for example, I'm given shows the field staff ID first, then first name and family name. So go back here, staff ID there, then first name there, and family ID. Just double click family name, double click on them, and they'll be added in that order. Then go to job description, department, job description, then department and faculty. So job description, okay, department, and faculty. Then next, you go to base pay and years of service. Base pay, then years of service. Okay, and then the last one is actually supposed to be a field calculated at runtime, which is current salary. So it's the last one. So I'm going to just put it as current underscore salary. Okay, and then you will need to put a full colon. Okay, a full colon to show that now the next thing that follows, you want now to show how this field is going to be calculated, and the full colon is no. So don't say current salary equal to like that. No ways. Just say current salary full salary full colon. Okay, and or not full colon, just a colon because you have semicolon and now you use a full colon. So let's just say a colon. Okay, we know there is no other colon other than semicolon. Is there any other colon? Okay, so so let's do this. So the current salary is actually the base pay, okay, plus an increase of 400 for each year of service. So what we're doing is the base pay. So we have base pay, okay, like that. Then put the bracket there, okay, base pay multiply, not multiply, but plus. Then I'll put the brackets, okay. I'll put 400 kwacha, not kwacha. Kwacha is my currency. 400, whichever currency you use it. So 400 multiplied by, and then the year of service. So multiply by the year of service. Remember what I told you. So multiply by year of service, okay. And do that and close the bracket like that. And click anywhere else. If you go to run, okay, so year service, I think it's the parameter. So usually, guys, when you get this error, it shows you that the field name that you've typed here is different from the one that's there. So if you just check this one, you'll notice that this one is years service, and here I put year service. So this is why it's saying parameter value. So if you put years here and underscore service and say okay, notice. Okay, let's just change it from here. I was hoping it was going to pick it up from there. So just change it here and add years. Try to run it, and this time around it runs. Okay, so the current salary is supposed to be this one. Notice also that this is formatted as $. We're not given the field values to format it as, but automatically Access knows that this one is formatted as currency, and it picks up the default currency symbol, which is in my case, my computer is $. And since we're multiplying the base pay by the years of service, it picks up that this is supposed to be currency as well. You can't multiply money by certain factor and not have money again. Okay, in some countries we have people who claim to multiply money. So they say, give me $1,000, I'll multiply it and give it back $10,000, but you just give me a commission of $1,000. And so you wonder what these guys are up to. It's like, how? I mean, I give you $1,000, you multiply it, you give me back 10,000, I just pay you back a 1,000. That's not true. In fact, come to think of it, you've just given him your real $1,000 and he's given you fake $10,000. Okay, money multipliers. Please don't become a money multiplier when school is hard. Work hard. Work hard and become an engineer, not a money multiplier. You'll be arrested for money laundering. Okay, so okay, so next, right? So we are done with the field calculated at runtime, and automatically it displays the contents of this field as currency. So we are not going to worry about that. But if you're worried about that, there's a way that you can do that. So if you go back, for example, to design view for your query. So this query, let's save it. Save, and I'll save it as step number. This is step number 24 query. Step 24 query. Okay. So now let's go ahead and go back to design view. And here, if you go to properties for this one, go to format, and you can format it as currency. Okay, so that should tell you. And also the number of decimal places. We were told something about the number of decimal places. So let's see, set to 2 decimal places. So that should be fine. Okay. So again, if you're a person who is so cautious about decimal places and stuff, then you can set the decimal places here too. Okay. So that is fine. And save it. I'll close up this one. Let me see if there's anything that we need to do with the query. So we are done. Okay, we're not done. We need to show on the records where the faculty is engineering, and the job description we exclude postgraduate research. Okay, postgraduate research we exclude for the job description. So go ahead and go back to design view for the query. And for faculty, we need just to put engineering. Now, I don't know if there are different engineerings that are there. Let me just and check this one. Just do this, select it. Okay, let me just delete it first. And then run the query. I want to see if there are different engineering aspects that exist in faculty. It is good to check. Okay, so it's just one word, engineering. Otherwise, if it was 2 words, like the way you have science and technology and stuff like that, it'll be good to use wildcards. Okay, so in this case, engineering is just one word, so we can type it as it is, engineering. Okay, run it, and you see now that you just have engineering as the faculty. Notice for department, you have electrical engineering, mechanical engineering. So if you are told to select engineering from here, then you need to use the wildcard. Okay, so let's see. The next thing that we're supposed to do is to go back to design view again, and now for the job description, we need to select only those where postgraduate research is not shown. So we need to exclude postgraduate research. So for job description, just say not. Okay, not, that means don't consider postgraduate research. Postgraduate research. Okay, and run it. And postgraduate research is not going to be considered there. Okay, go back to design view. So this is done. Just verify that it is done. Now, here, guys, I've always discouraged you from doing the sorting from this end. Okay, so don't sort the data here. We can sort the data in the report. This is not a good idea. There's sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, by the time your report gets into your query rather gets into your report, the data has already been disorganized, and you lose marks for that when you did the right thing. Okay. So just leave this one and we'll do it right in the report. So this is done. Make sure you save your query, close up your query, and let's go ahead and now create the report. So go to report wizard and select the data based on the query you just created. So statement 4 query, and go to next, and then select all the fields. Just go to next. And then here, don't do the sorting here again. Okay. Okay, so I don't like using this window. And the reason I'm telling you about this, because I have experimented with most of these windows, most of these things. Remember, I do solve some of these papers for fun. Well, maybe I'm bored, I have nothing to do. Sometimes I solve these papers for fun, and I do experiment efficient methods of working around these papers, and whichever methods I see that is good and is working out well, that's the one that I will encourage you to use. Okay, that's what I do even in class for my students. Okay, it's good to explore. Okay, so here we need now to set the orientation, and also, so has a page orientation of landscape and should fit on a single page wide. So here we're just going to go ahead and make sure it's landscape. And here, fields on a single page wide, make sure that this is ticked. It says adjust the field so that all widths fit on a page. Okay. Go to next and leave it as tabular. Okay. Go to next. And here you want to give the title of the report. So the title of the report, actually you can give it here. You can say the title of the report is supposed to be Tawara University Faculty of Engineering. Tawara University Faculty of Engineering. So Tawara is supposed to be small letter there. Tawara University Faculty. I don't know if they are capital letters throughout. Okay, yeah. Faculty of Engineering. Okay, that should be done. Then go to modify the report and finish it. So you should have in the report, you should have the title there. So the next thing that you need to do, I'm just going to do this, is to rearrange your fields so that they are fully visible. Okay, that's very important before you even begin to do. So go to layout view and make sure that your fields are rearranged. So the hashtags means that the field sizes are small. Okay, so go ahead and select this one and select this and drag it there. Again, that's good. And then the first name and this one. So there's also space there. So I'm just going to drag this this side. So just drag it like that. Okay, so the names are not cut. Make sure that the names are fully visible. Okay, that should be fine. And I'm going to drag this, both of them, I'll drag them this side just to create space. And this one and this one, drag it this side. So make sure that the job description, the text is not cut. Like for example, assistant here is cut. So let's do this and it should be fully visible. And for mechanical engineering, so guys, I'm going to drag this a little bit further this side. Okay, and drag this one just about there. Okay, that should be fine. Engineering here, mechanical engineering is cut, so I'll enlarge it. Okay, that should be fine. And then for engineering, I'm just going to get it like that, resize it a little bit. Nope, I'm not resizing, just engineering. Okay, just that. Resize it and drag it here. So that's very important. Okay, base pay, resize it from this end and drag it this side. Okay, that should be fine. Year service, just that, and drag this one, put it on the center, get this, put it just right there. Get best pay, resize it and put it right there. Okay, it should be at least in the same line. Oops. So I'm not a person who does art, so pardon me if it's not straight. Current salary. So I need to drag, just do this a bit and drag it this side and drag this one, drag them this side, and current drag that side, and this one, make it like that. Okay, so that looks good. Okay, that looks good. So the next thing that we can do, we can add a sort. Okay, so this is where you can do the sorting. Add a sort right at the bottom here and select sorts by what? Sorts the data in ascending order of years of service. So years service and smallest to largest. That's fine. Okay. If there was another field to sort by, you can again add another sort. If they ask you to sort by group, then you can sort by group. If they ask you to add the total, again, there's a way that you can do that. You can see in my other papers, I think I've shown you how to add the total. So let's see, what else do we have? So we are done with these highlighted. We just now need to do has a label, average time with the faculty, and then calculates the average years of service for this faculty and places this at the bottom of the report below the years of service column. Okay, so in other words, we're finding the average years of service there. Okay, so go to design view, and under the report, then years of service is here. So I'm going to go to home. No, I'm going to go to design and pick up this one and add it just below years of service, and this is the average. So equal to AVG, short form for average, and this is a function, so it must be enclosed in brackets, and then inside the brackets, that's where you're now going to put 2 square brackets to access the name of the field that you want to average. So this one, the name of the field is years service. Okay, that is done. And the data, the text, the label is supposed to be in there to the left. So the label is supposed to be, has a label to the left of this number, average time with the faculty. So average time with the faculty. Okay, and notice that it actually overlaps and goes inside the other text box. So you to drag it, you don't drag it from here, otherwise you're going to move the entire you see it's moving all together. So you drag it on the gray shaded here and then drag it like that, and notice that it is you've just dragged the item along. View it in report view if you want, or print preview. We're just interested in the average at the bottom. So notice the average is there at the bottom, and it's showing that it is 9.0 whatever. So we're told also that this number is supposed to be formatted as an integer. Notice here it's supposed to be formatted as an integer. This one is done. So we need to format this number as an integer, and so what we need to do is to go back here and go to design view, and for this one I'll first of all format it as integer. So decimal places, format, go to fixed because it's not currency, so go to fixed, and decimal places, format it as 0, and run it one more time. View it in report view, and you see that now you have the number 9. Okay, so the other thing that we need to do, I don't like the border that is around this number, so just go ahead and remove it. So to remove the border, just go to select the text box that you want, and then where it says border style, it says solid, change it to transparent. Okay, or you can change it to none if there's none. Okay, there's no none here, so just leave it as transparent. So report, and notice that now you have the number 9, and it's closer to being at the right direct under the years service column. Okay, so that should be fine, and I don't mind the way it is. Okay, so maybe what I can do, there's nothing I can do. I think this is perfect. Okay, so the last thing that we're supposed to do now is has your name, center number, and candidate number on each page of the report. Now this is very important. On each page of the report, that tells you this should go in the page footer and not in the report footer. So on each page of the report, so go to design view. Each page of the report is this one. Okay, this is page footer. So I'm going to remove the date, and I'm going to pick up or to put a text box, a label, okay, and put my name there. So Chikasa Evans ZM 556 and 0001. Okay, and I'm going to remove the page number. Anyway, it's not important whether I remove it or not for now, because it's just showing me that this is page 1 of 2 and stuff like that. Okay, and yeah. So I think this is done. Guys, notice how I've worked systematically through the steps and through the points here for the report. And you need to save and print your report. Make sure that you have entered your name, center, market number. This is just to confirm that this report is yours. Okay. Otherwise, if there is no name, it won't be marked. I guarantee you, it will not be marked. Even though it's found in your assessment folder, it will not be marked. Okay. It's that strict. Okay. So make sure your name on every printout appears. Right. So now we are done, and we are done with this one. So just preview it if you want. Print preview it and see how good it is. notice that best pay is not fully visible. So you can lose marks like that. So a single mark can be lost because this one is not fully visible. So what you need to do is to go to this one and enlarge it just a little bit. In fact, go to layout view. It's much better from layout view, and enlarge it from this end a little bit. And now it's fully visible. So preview it one more time. And now we have all the fields fully visible, and they follow the same order. And we have done the sorting according to the years of service. This page is in landscape. We have added the title. We've added the label at the bottom of the report. This is page 1 of 2. So you need to go to the next page. Just go like that. This is the last page. You have added the label. You have found the average, and you've done everything. Okay, so well done. There you go with your 11 marks. Okay, so I'm going to have to end here for this part of the question paper, and we're going to go with step number 25 in the next video. So thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to share, to like, to comment, to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video shortly.